Hey, welcome back to another episode of TuneQuest. Just before we get into it, the link to the free online course and community is below. Alright, in today's video, we're going to be looking at Just Stand There by Fred Again and Soak. This was requested by a viewer. Shout out to you. Again, with Fred Again songs, we can only really take a creative interpretation to how to play them on the piano, but I've got some ideas to share with you in this video. So let's get started with the intro build-up thing, okay? It's going to sound and look like this. Okay, so that's the idea, right? Now we start with this B flat major chord, and we're just going to bounce between the 1 and the 5 like this. 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go down to a D minor chord, and we're going to do the same pattern, right? And we're going to do it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do the same thing here on an A minor, right? Between A and E. And we're going to do that once, right? So all together in the left hand. So that's essentially the left hand, right? Now the right hand is gonna start here with your thumb on D and your pinky on A, and you're gonna land on an F, yeah. Like this. Right? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna move your thumb down to a C, and you're gonna do the same thing. Right? The same thing, going from these two notes to an F. Right, so and then you go here, so you're gonna play a C and an E, just as you're on that last one here, right, when you land on that A, and then you're gonna go like this. You're gonna play this. Okay, so let me play it slowly. Right, so it's like okay, so that might be the trickiest part. Yeah, so that's essentially the whole bit. Now, of course, it's a build-up, right? So we're gonna just start nice and light, right? And then as you build it up, what you can do is you can do this pattern here on the left hand. Like this. Okay, so this is a classic arpeggio pattern where you play the root, the 5, and the octave, and then the 5. So we're just kind of rocking back and forth here, right? So you're going to do that on the B flat major, and then on the D, and then on the A. Okay, so slowly. Okay, so that's essentially that whole section, right? And it builds up, and then it goes into the second half of the song, and this is where it gets a little bit crazy, and we can't actually play what's happening here. I mean, it might be possible, but it's using an arpeggiator, so it's kind of going crazy. But I have an idea, and it might be a little bit tricky to get the handle on this technique that I'm going to show you here, but I think it's really cool. It's really cool, okay? So firstly, the main idea, the main technique that I'm going to show you here is where you're attacking a note with like both hands, right? Fingers in both hands, like this. And that's actually how we lead into the second half. It's on an A, and it's this kind of attacking approach. Now, the main idea of this technique is that you need to make every time you hit the note like really light, so that it comes up quick, so that the next finger can hit it and make a sound, right? You don't want to hold it too long, because then the next finger isn't going to be able to strike it, right? So you have to really be quick, right? It's like, imagine bees coming down to attack the note, right? Okay, so that's the main technique that we're going to use here, right? Now, let me play you this thing that I came up with for the progression. It's like... that's what I came up with, and obviously it's not exactly what is happening in the song, but it's quite hard to do that. So this is my own creative interpretation of it, but I think it sounds sick as, right? Like. Okay, so what am I doing here? Firstly, the chords are on an F major, and then the next chord is a D minor, okay? So what I'm doing here is I'm first landing that A, right? So it's kind of it's kind of hard for me to explain what I'm doing because it's kind of just something I came up with, which is a little bit crazy, but I'm gonna try my best, okay? So the first thing I'm doing is I'm landing a pinky here, and then so we land the pinky on the F just to establish the root of the chord, and then what I'm doing here in the left hand is I'm just alternating between that C and that F as I attack these notes with the the B finger. I'll call it the B finger, right? It's like, and now this B finger, this right hand finger is going F, A, F, E, F, A, F, E, F, A, F, E, F, A, F, E, F, and it's alternating between the left hand's C and F. It just creates this really cool rhythm, right? Let me play it as slowly as I can, and if it's really hard for you to get, just take it slowly and work through it. Eventually you'll get it, right? So and then gradually pick up the speed, right? So you know, once you get it practiced, you'll be able to play it at speed like this. Again, the main idea with this technique is that you really have to play staccato, which means like these light, short, sharp notes, right? You need to make it staccato so that the next, because these fingers are using the same note, right? So the key needs to like rise up so that you can strike it again. If you want to learn all about staccato technique and how to develop it, this is something I talk about quite a lot actually in my free course. It's 9 modules. I talk about staccato like in several different points in that course, so you can learn actually how to develop it in the fingers. But that's the main idea here, right? So that's over the F chord, and then as we go to this chord, we're doing the same alternating pattern with the 5. But in this instance, you're landing the chord first, so you land that root, the D, and then you're alternating between the A and the E, like this. Right, so that. Right, so. Right, so that's kind of the main idea, right? Again, let me just show you that D slowly. Okay, so that's that. And then you're just alternating between that F and that D and then F and that D, and you can do that for as many times as you want. Again, just play it however you want. This is a Fred Again song, right? Fred Again doesn't care. He just plays what, like, his songs are crazy like that. They're so creative and fun, and I think that's the approach we need to take when we want to play his songs. Just make it crazy. Make it. How would Fred Again cover his own songs? Think about that, right? try to do that, right? So do that, you know, F and then D and F, and then every now and again you want to go to the B flat major, right? And so what we're going to do there is we're going to do this. It's the same idea, right? But you're alternating between that B flat and that F, right? then land back on the F. And then go to the B flat. Okay, so that's crazy. That's the idea I came up with. I hope you're enjoying this, and I hope you find this quite fun. This is, again, my Fretting tutorials are actually like my favorite to teach, because like there isn't an exact way to play his music, and I love to come up with this creative interpretation. And if that's a little bit crazy for you, I'll give you a more kind of beautiful piano way that you can play this section, right? And it's gonna sound like this, right? Okay, F, D minor, B flat major, F, B flat major, F. Right, so this is a more beautiful piano flowing way that you can play it if you don't want to do the crazy thing. Okay, so what am I doing here? So the right hand is actually doing the same thing the whole time. It's doing this, okay? So you're landing, you've got your thumb on the C and your pinky on the A, and you're landing that first and then alternating between E, F, E. Right? Just like that. That's all. That's it. That's all we're doing. Now here in the left hand, we've got this root 5, octave 5 arpeggio thing again, right? For the F, right? And then for the D, again, the same thing, root 5, octave 5. And then back to the F. D. And then B flat, again, root 5, octave 5. Same thing in the right hand. Back to the F. Play around with the dynamics. Play it up here. So, yeah. Do whatever you want with it. Again, how would Fred again cover his own music? Think about that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It was quite fun to teach. Again, it's Fred again. That's Fred again. I hope you understand that. Like I can't I can't show you exactly what's happening in the song. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. It helps these videos reach more people and all of that. And join the free community. Check out the free course. I'm here to help you unlock the keyboard and play the piano and understand how it works and all of that. Okay, great. I'll see you in the next one. See you later.